This is life. I watched the video. They were asking the man, what would you do about electricity? I've known about turbines. I've known about electricity generation. I've known about transmission stations. I've known about distributor stations since I was in secondary school. I know that a turbine is like a massive generator, and then you have gas driving it. And then there are thermal plants. There's a solar system, and they're asking Oga APC, Oga Monday, Senator Monday, what will you do? What will you do about electricity? And the man says he will talk to the president. Does he not even know that the president has moved electricity from the exclusive list to the concurrent list? This president has made it possible, and we hail him for that. He has moved electricity from the concurrent list, from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. Edo State currently has an Osiomo power plant that generates 90 megawatts. All right. Region 2, where the candidate of the All Progressive Congress in way back Maryland was asked an interview, was asked a question in an interview about what he was going to do about electricity for Edo State, and his response was disjointed. You could almost wonder if it was the same question he was answering, just like he did with the issue of animals and museum. So I've told people that I'm not sure that the man is shy. He's not shy. I think he's just unintelligent, and it's not his fault. I don't think that the man is shy. That looks like Barrister Dennis Osariti. They share the video and let people know that we're online, engaging. I watched the video. I watched the video. Barrister David Maduku, good to have you here. All right. I watched the video and it was discouraging. And for me, this is not even politics. This is life. I watched the video. They were asking the man, what would you do about electricity? I've known about turbines. I've known about electricity generation. I've known about transmission stations. I've known about distributor stations since I was in secondary school. I know that a turbine is like a massive generator, and then you have gas driving it. And then there are thermal plants. There's a solar system, and they're asking Oga APC, Oga Monday, Senator Monday, what will you do? What will you do about electricity? And the man says he will talk to the president. Does he not even know that the president has moved electricity from the exclusive list to the concurrent list? This president has made it possible, and we hail him for that. He has moved electricity from the concurrent list, from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. Edo State currently has an Osiomo power plant that generates 90 megawatts, whereas what we have supplied from the national grid is 110. So combined with what Osiomo has, we have about 200 megawatts in Edo State. Ideally, what we need is over 2,000 megawatts, but we currently have 200 megawatts. And then you are asked the question. For me, it was sad. Okay, what will you do about electricity? And that's why I said that by my next broadcast, I will have tape. I will not cover my mouth, because they should be covering Senator Monday. They should cover his mouth, because he's exporting ignorance way down in Maryland, especially in this generation where everybody is on the internet. He will not look like the gross aggregate of our intelligence is vested in one individual called, Senator Monday, because he's exporting ignorance. What would you do about electricity? Say, I will ask Mr. President. He's my father. So Mr. President will now put electricity inside trailer, and then move the trailer from Abuja and then come and drop it in Ring Road. Then all of us will go there and be collecting electricity one after the other. Sir, what will you do about electricity? And that's why I always challenge them. They don't like to hear it too. I always challenge them that everybody who aspires to public office is a suspect. Everybody is a suspect. And everybody must be interrogated. We must be interrogated. Whoever it is, whether you are a councillor, the council where you are in, they must interrogate you. you are a suspect. Even if it's my father that aspires for public office, my father is a suspect. He's 85. If I, Reverend Lou Martin, am wearing white collar, I aspire for public office, I am a suspect, and the citizens should treat me as a suspect. That's what Patrick Henry says. You must treat everybody who aspires for public office as a suspect. We must look at them with the eye of suspicion. You should look at Okpbholo with the eye of suspicion. Look at Okpbholo with an eye of suspicion and interrogate their intention. We can't trust you that you will do the greatest good for the greatest number of people within the shortest possible time. So we must scrutinize your intention. And one way to scrutinize your intention is to interrogate it. We can't assume that you will do good, sir. We must interrogate it. We must examine what is in your mind, because our eye no be X-ray. The only way to examine what is in your mind is when we ask you critical questions. What you say helps us assess whether you have the intellectual capacity, sagacity to deliver on the promises that you have made. Anybody can promise, but you must join the lines together. Anybody can say, I will put air condition in the airspace. How do you want to do it? Anybody can say, you know what, I can build a super highway from here to Abuja. Do you know the resources of the state? Do you know how much a kilometer of road is now in different topographies? Because the cost of 1 kilometer in Bayelsa, that is a swampy area, is not the same one as in Ekiti or Ondo State. That is ground. So that's why you must know the thing that you want to do. So I was embarrassed to hear that the APC candidate is saying that he will ask the president. You see why these guys don't want Monday Okpbholo to talk? That's why they keep shielding him. That's why everywhere he goes, they are teleguiding him. Christmas. They are micromanaging him because they can't trust him. They can't trust his intelligence. So if they who are there cannot trust his intelligence, how can we, that we want him to vote for us, how can we trust his intelligence? Look, I am doing this because I want us to upscale politics. We must grow our politics. We must advance our politics. All of this puerile pedestrian talk. No, he is not from Edo State. I have one of my pastor friends who is saying that you need to speak Isha, you need to speak in, I'm so angry. If I could punch him through the phone, I would have punched him. Because when politics, because all of the lies that APC is saying is not going to help us, because they're trying to distract from the fact. And the fact is that what we do about electricity, what we do about road, what we do about education, what we do about agriculture, what will you do about health, what will you do about critical infrastructure, what will you do about processes, what will you do about it? Those are the critical questions, not whether you speak Ishan or not. And these guys, they taunted me. They who speak Ishan, back in the days in university, were not declared wanted. I, who don't speak Ishan very well, my studentship was withdrawn from me. I was declared wanted by the Nigerian police when Jimo Yekini was commissioner of police and Akai Zima was PPRO. Abiodun Obaseki was commissioner of education. Lucky Benedict was governor of Edo State. Osage Eziamu was secretary of state, government, and secretary of state government, and Michael Giadome was deputy governor. I'm listing these things. They say I don't speak Ishan very well. In fact, they call me always Zanama. But I am the one who fought the most from Brutal University. I got arrested for it. I got incarcerated for it. I got intimidated for it by the vindictive purposelessness of political diabolism. But here I am standing. I was the last man to enter into camp because they didn't want to release me. They took a full page in Vanguard newspaper to malign me, to call me all sorts of names. But the Archbishop in the house has always encouraged us. If they say you are a thief, make sure that you are not stealing. I don't know how many people saw the video, but it was most embarrassing, because if you popularly elect a moron, that you popularly elected him will not suddenly make him intelligent. Popular vote does not confer intelligence on somebody. So if you gather and popularly elect a moron, you have told the rest of the world that moron reflects the gross aggregation of our intelligence. And for us in Edo State, it is insulting. When I watch the video, Senator sir, what will you do about electricity? And the man says, I will talk to the president. He will bring me electricity. I open my mouth agape. Outside campaign, you are outside the shores of this country. Even if you're not outside the shores of this country, this phone has made the world one village. So people will be watching from developed society. And then even in other, you don't even need to be watching in developed society. Professors will watch in university. Doctors, educated people will watch. Even illiterates who know what electricity will be watching and say, so this is the best people have to offer. You will call Mr. President, and then Mr. President will tell you what to. Mr. President will send electricity to you. Who responds like that? Who responds like that? Don't you even know what it is to have a solar farm? You have a solar farm. Don't you know what it is to have a thermal plant? Don't you know what it is to have electricity that is hydro driven? I've often complained when I see gas flaring in Nigeria. How can we be flaring gas? There is no electricity. We are flaring gas when we can use the gas to drive a turbine. Governance has become very complex. It's not as simple anymore. It's not for simple things. It's not for imbeciles. It's not for, it's not for basic. It's not for average people. Look at Edo State, for instance, that now has a paperless civil service, a paperless administration. How do you now, as a governor who doesn't even know how to punch, laptop, Amaware, to now even look at Cisco, an advanced system? How do you now want to cope in the current Edo State, that we have? And that's why we need, I keep telling people that it's not just because it is a PDP thing. It's because I am a natural admirer for intelligence. What is in your brain matters more to me than what is in your pocket. Because what is in your pocket cannot guarantee what is in your brain. But what is in your brain can guarantee what is eventually going to be in your pocket. And that's why I tell young people, especially the girls, that if what is in between your leg is what you are depending on, then what is in between your ears will suffer. You will suffer. Because life is driven from within. Outside, it is what you have that you give to the people. If you don't have it, you don't have it. If it didn't day, it didn't day. I don't know how many people saw the video. And so when APC people come out and say, oh, hey, Reverend, oh, you are doing this for your pocket. I've told one of them, Sam, you advance your account number. I will now start doing it for your pocket. I will stop doing it for my pocket. I will start doing it for your pocket. Who goes to war at his charges? But this is even beyond what you can do for what is personal. We're talking about a generation yet unborn. We are talking about a mentor. We are talking about a candidate of a party that you can be proud of. I met some APC guy yesterday, and the guy says, look, I said, why you are not on the street? You are not very active this time. He said, I'm not proud of my candidate. No. I don't do no book to support, that kind of candidate. And there are many people like that secretly who are disillusioned and who are asking themselves, how did we get to support a candidate like that? And the beauty about supporting an intelligent candidate like Okpbholo is that it comes natural. Because when the man talks, we're excited, say, wow! I mean, just like me now, it's easy for my people to support me. It's easy for my wife to support me. Because when even those who don't like me will tell my wife and say, man, your husband is intelligent. The guy in no book. And then she's proud. You can imagine they come and say, your husband knows what. She probably remove her ring first over and say, which husband? Which one again? Because she will not be proud. Everybody is proud of intelligence. My son, they had to ask him to go to school today because he had been ill. But why did they take him to school today? Because the school is begging. Your son has a presentation. Your son is one of the most outspoken in the class. Please, sir, please, man, bring your son to school. How many people will be excited that your son went for a debate, and your son performed terribly? I remember those days in Lagos, one guy was debating about examination. I'm even going the way he's calling it. The guy said, he's a Yoruba guy asking. He said, examination is not the true test of your performance. But if you can perform, whether you perform or not, examination, the school that they came for, hey, all of them hit their head and say, hey. They were not asking the school to say, so among everybody now, when I don't see person where get sense, I don't see person where noble to come and debate for us. That's how the rest of the world is asking. That's what Lagos State is asking. Look at the governor, profile governors now, of course, apart from Kogi State. Even Kogi State come and say, what better pass the one way APC bring? Profile other governors. Look at what Lagos State, when you hear Babajide, when you hear him talk, you'll be excited. Go to even Right Honorable is Obodiwere of Delta State. Did you listen to when the governor of Rivers State made a statement? You know what the guy said? The way he said it, he said, if somebody shoots a gun and because the safety is on, you can understand that the guy understands some of these things, articulated it very well. I don't even want to go as far as what's happening in Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom has always produced intelligent governors. Cross River State, I give it to them in Cross River State. But guess what? Edo is the center of excellence. All of them coalesce, they evaporate from wherever they are and condense in Edo State. Edo State cannot do less. I'm passionate about it because the sum total of our intelligence is resident in who presides over us. That's why if you want to have a class rep, you go at least get class rep with no book. If you want to have a senior prefect, those days, a federal government college of promotion, a senior prefect must be above board academically. Even before I contested for senior president, your CGPA should be 2.5 before you can contest. They didn't, because they don't want morons to represent us. Because who represents you is an aggregate of the intelligence that is, that school portrays. So how can somebody send an average student to go and represent them in a debate? How do you send an average student to go and represent them in an ASIC? Before you send a student to represent you, you look at the best of the best. How can you have an institution, a school, or a company, and then you want to rent a CEO, and then you bring a CEO that is not a role model, that is not a brand, and then when you send the CEO, people are asking, is that the CEO of XYZ company? When we do interviews, we interview for the most intelligent of all of them, because that tells the world that we value meritocracy other than mediocrity. So that's why I keep drawing their leg. They don't like man, they talk, hey, is it by intelligence? I keep drawing their leg. Monday Okpbholo must be interrogated. Aswa Godalo must be interrogated. Olumide Akpata must be interrogated. They must speak to us. We will not hear from their surrogates. There are those who have asked to say, oh, Reverend, come and debate. I say, I will debate after your candidate has spoken in public. How can you ask me to come and debate? Your candidate is unwilling to debate. And you're asking me to come and, debate. And unfortunately, the party has not done well to even have a party chairman who can guide him. Have you heard the party chairman talking? If he's not, kill him. Break bottle. It's about raising alarm. That's what APC party chairman does.